Perfect. Perfect.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Venda Chef channel. My name is Puzo, and if you're new here, welcome. Also, if you're new to this channel, have not seen anything of mine and this is your first video, well, hey, very opinionated person over here. But in any case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell on the side to get notified as soon as I post new videos. So in any case, guys, welcome back to my channel. I've not been posting as the vendor chef, but rather on my podcast for some time now, but it was just because I was super busy and I needed some, also I didn't have topics to discuss, so I was like, oh, okay, let me just do it on the podcast. I don't feel like getting myself together and actually filming and editing and doing all of those things. I was just like, because those ones were a lot more raw. And if you want to watch them, the playlist is gonna be at the end of this video. As soon as it ends, you can click on the playlist, go through all of those topics and everything. If something resonates with you, comment on it, like the video, of course, and share it amongst your family, friends, enemies, whoever. If you want to send a message across to someone that you cannot really articulate, but the video, speaks your idea, or the audio speaks your idea, right? Send it to them, share it with them. Anyway, so it's been a while since I've been in the front of the camera to actually just not do a podcast, but to actually go back to like my channel and stuff, my opinion pieces that are like 20 minutes long instead of like an hour or 45 minutes or so. So in any case, today's topic, what has been bothering me, not really bothering me, but today's topic in any case, what we're gonna be discussing is we're gonna talk about polygamy, monogamy, polyandry. Let's just have a discussion about this, which by that I mean you can comment on the comment section what you disagree with, what you agree with, and anything in between, basically. So basically in South Africa, right now, there is the green book, or the green, what did I say, the green, I think it's the green book, where discussion has been open to South Africa at large, asking about making polyandry legal in South Africa. Now it's still something that's just a topic that's being put out there to the people for them to discuss, and for government to see if people are in support or against, and then to see whether or not they want to pass this into law. So in South Africa, polygamy is legal. So it's legal for a man to marry more than one wife in South Africa, and they're fine with it. But polyandry is not legal. So meaning one woman marrying more than one man, basically. So that's basically has been the debate on ground. I've seen it being debated online, as in like on Twitter, have I seen it on TikTok? I don't know if I've actually seen it on TikTok. I don't think so. But mostly I've seen it being spoken about, I think, on Facebook, Twitter. Those are the main ones that I've seen actually having a back and forth about the whole entire thing. And like I also was not so long ago just watched like a carte blanche, where they were also talking about it, discussing it with the lawmakers, with certain politicians, with religious people, and with cultural people. And they were having all like asking them like how they felt about it, what was all of that, yada yada. And I think this is the thing why I like, even when like I want to switch on the camera today, because I was like, you know what, can we just have like an open, honest discussion about this whole entire thing? Because I think what's happening, and a lot of the opposition is coming from men, is them thinking that if a woman has more than one husband, because in their head they have this thing where they have a role of a woman being submissive and a man being dominant, and that the man has to rule over the house. They cannot understand the concept of a woman being the one who's heading the house and the guys being the ones that are supportive, or rather they are equal in those relationships where everybody has an input and everybody can agree or disagree, and that is actually spoken about, instead of like a man saying that, hey, I want it this way and this is the only way that we're gonna do it. So they end up having to, most of them, like from what I've been seeing, is all these men go like, what if one of them gets jealous? I saw this other topic where somebody was like, okay, so what if one of them wants to sleep with her and then the other one wants to come and sleep with her? I was like, guys, it's very simple. The same thing happens in polygamy, right? Everybody has a set date. Everybody, if this person decides that, if this guy decides that he wants to sleep with this woman, that's what the days are for, and everybody like, and then they choose where they go. It will be the same thing for the woman. She will choose which guy to go to. And also, by the way, all of you are acting as if when this is happening, a woman is holding a gun to the guy's head and telling them that this is what you're going to do and you're going to agree to this. But that is not what happens. That is not even what polygamy is. What it is that it's grown as people agreeing that we are going to be in this relationship together, but we are not going to be, you are not going to be the only partner, and that person also agrees to it. It's not something that you're going to force on somebody. It's not something that you're going to make like everybody participate in it. Now, in the program, there was also a Muslim person and a Christian person that came in. Like, I don't know what they're called, this Christian religion don't of theirs in South Africa. I don't know what the whole thing is called. And then you also have the Muslim representative from that organization as well, and they were coming in talking up on some like, oh, our religion doesn't allow for this and our religion doesn't allow for that, right? And then the sentiment of the last person who was studying law went like, are we enforcing Western ideologies on our religious and cultural people into like into our religions and cultures, right? But the question is, like, in South Africa, you have the right to practice any religion or no religion at all, and like, in fact, like me, like not participating in any religion whatsoever, right? You also have that, right? And you have a lot of people who don't want to belong to any religion or any form of group or anything like that, but we get forced to live our lives according to these religious beliefs. Like Sunday, the fact that alcohol is not sold on a Sunday is because of Christianity. That's the whole reason. Because what is the actual reason of alcohol not being sold on Sunday and having a time limit? All of that doesn't make any sense, does it? So this is because of a religion that says Sunday is sacred, which is very funny because for some other people in the same religion, Saturday is sacred, and for some, Friday is sacred. But it's, we're gonna leave it as is. But in any case, like when I had her make that statement, I was like, but religion and culture has been enforced on us, whether or not you believe or practice in any of these things. Those things get forced on you, and you have to live under some religious law or some cultural law that people have in their heads, and they want to enforce it on you. Like, for me, no. And also, can we just agree on something, ne? This whole thing of like polygamy or polyandry, it is not something that's being forced on you. If you do not want to participate in it, no one is forcing you to participate in it. No one is telling you that, oh, hey, even though you don't want to be part of polyamory or polygamy, you need to go into it. If it is a law, what it's doing is protecting people that want to participate in it. It is basically just, there are a group of people, grown as adults, who are deciding that, you know what, I want you to have more than one partner, or I want to have more than one partner, or they want to just live their best lives, basically, right? Like, listen, like, there are people who like monogamy and there are people that like polygamy, right? Or polyandry. There are people who like any of these situations, right? And you liking monogamy right now, as a person who likes monogamy, nobody is forcing you to go into polygamy. Nobody is telling you to go into polygamy. You have a choice of being in a relationship, and as you're starting off, you tell each other that, yo, me, I like monogamy, and this one says, me too, I do monogamy, so we're gonna be in a monogamous relationship. Or you have a relationship where somebody goes like, oh, you listen, I like polygamy, and this one says, I'm cool with polygamy, I'm also okay with that situation, and then you get into that situation. But no one is gonna, if it's put into law, nobody is going to come and say, oh, you, person X, you need to be definitely, because this is a law now, you actually have to get married to more than one person, or you are going to participate in polyamory or polygamy. Nobody is telling you that. Like, it's so that, and I've seen, like, when you're seeing online, most of the people that are opposing are men. And then I saw this other guy. he was called on to basically speak on the cultural side of this whole entire situation, right? And his whole argument was like, listen, I am not doing this because of patriarchy and misogyny or anything like that. I'm just saying this because I feel like it is not within our culture. How is this going to work? How is the power dynamic going to work? You just literally, after saying that this is not about misogyny or patriarchy, went right back to talk about a statement that is definitely not patriarchal, what is it, that encompasses patriarchy and misogyny all in one. You just literally went into that situation. You literally just defined exactly what you said you are not a part of. It's a lot of these men that are opposing are men who feel like they're gonna lose power if women can have power. Because this man was like, so this means that the roles of the wife, they cannot actually possibly actually lead their family. They cannot be leaders. Like, oh my gosh, I feel for the children he's going to be raising, because they have to live in such a misogynistic world where this man thinks that a woman cannot be a leader. Like, he, in his heart of heart, I think that you, like, the man is one, what is it called? I think he has a TV show where he has 4 wives, and I don't know if he's even gonna have even more. But like, he has a show like that. I don't know what the heck his name is. I knew I didn't like that show. I didn't like the guy at all, because I cannot, like, for the life of me, I cannot. Such a man who has such misogyny deep embedded in his DNA, who he feels like, oh, a woman cannot lead, a woman cannot be in charge. Okay, who told you that? Like, who sold you that lie? Who told you women cannot be leaders? Just because you morphos decided to just like degrade us and try to grind us into nothing does not mean we are not anything. Like, it's just like, it doesn't mean we cannot lead. You basically trying to, like, also people that like to use the whole thing of culture, right, to fight, like, oh, culturally this is not done. Can we be also be honest, in this country, right, after colonization, your culture has been westernized in a way that you probably wouldn't even know what your culture was before colonization. You have no idea what your culture what actually was, because in some cases we do not even have actual records. Some stories were not passed down. Also, mind you, with stories, anybody can change their stories to benefit whatever that they wanted for a community or group of people. But in those situations, we actually do not have any idea of like how the actual older people of our cultures and tribes and all of those things actually operated when it came to having men and women. We have no actual idea. We can talk about theorizing how it was back in the day, but we do not actually have evidence to prove what we are saying used to be done back in the day, to be quite honest. And if we act like Western culture has not affected any of our cultures today, it's a goddamn lie. And if you're gonna use culture, this is the same situation where you find a lot of religious people using some parts of their scriptures to discriminate against a group of people, but at the same time, they themselves are doing something which is not right in their own religions, but justify it because a group of them are agreeing on something and they want to form their whole argument against another smaller group. Does not make it right. Our culture has been westernized for a very long time. After colonization, let's be honest with ourselves, a lot of our culture has been colonized, and a lot of it, we have no idea where the colonization started with our cultures and what the actual culture actually is. You have no idea. All the practices that you go like, oh, listen, I wish we were back in the day, it was back in the day where we could where this was happening and this was happening and this was happening. To be quite honest, you have no idea what was happening back in the day. You have no idea what somebody else was bringing to the table and what somebody else was bringing to the table. Like, you had no idea whatsoever. What it is that you're theorizing that because you have seen movies or things like that that told you like, oh, listen, this nigga was up here, he was up here and he was doing whatever. You have convinced yourself that, oh my God, back in the day was such a good time. It's like people who started romanticizing apartheid, and I'm talking about black people who started romanticizing apartheid. Listen, when white people are romanticizing about apartheid, it's not something where I'm surprised, because of course they used to benefit from it, so why wouldn't they? But when a black person is like romanticizing apartheid, in what I mean by that is, when somebody starts saying that, apartheid was much better for black people, than the freedom that we have at the moment and the democracy that we're experiencing at the moment. This is somebody that forgot that there were people that were tortured, people that died, people that were not free to do anything. Like sometimes I say it in when my mom is talking about the experiences that she had during the apartheid time and the things that they had to go through and things that they were not allowed to do, things that they were not allowed to say, jobs that they were not allowed to have, and the freedoms that they did not have. You see, this freedom of being able to vote, this freedom of being able to be vocal, and the freedom to be able to move around was not a luxury that our people during apartheid had. And we were all sanctioned into different parts of South Africa, and for some reason we all want to go back there again. It's romanticizing segregation. So, like it's every time I say these things, I'm just like I cannot lie and say I understand the minds of people who think in such manners. But like when it came to this whole topic, it has always been in my heart because the only argument you have of men is like, imagine us being women, just being on top, being like the amount of fear that men have of women being in charge is the most funniest thing I've ever had. Like it is the most insecure thing I've ever had from a group of people, like the most insecure thing in your life. You're afraid that women are actually going to be good at it. Are you afraid of the fact that actually things might actually be working quite well? When they act like there isn't a privilege to something, but there is actually a privilege. That's the same thing as like, like both black men and black women are oppressed, but men would not want to change the black men would not want to change the patriarchal system because it benefits them. And if the black woman goes like, listen, in as much as in as much as I'm fighting racism, I'm also trying to fight the patriarchy, which is trying to put me down and make sure that I am nothing. You will hear this man go like, oh, women just want to focus on things that don't even matter. Like, can we just focus on us getting the rights? But you do this because you know that between you and me, the one that's gonna have more power, if one was just fighting just solely for racism, is going to be you and not me. I'm gonna benefit the fact that okay, black people can do this, but at the same time, I am still under a man. I am still having to live under this thing where I am being oppressed by both race and by gender. I am being put under pressure as a person, and these people will never be with us. I think there's a statement that I kept on saying, which I think I'd seen on Twitter or something, where somebody goes like, black woman, you're on your own. Because truly, I think across countries and different spaces, truly we are on our own. But in any case, going back to the same topic that we were talking about, where I stand with the polygamy and polyamory thing is, if polygamy exists, let polyandry also exist. If you don't feel like polyandry should exist, then we should also abolish polygamy. This thing should not be, it should be equal. Whoever wants to participate in a poly relationship should be allowed to practice that. And I think if all parties in those situations want to be involved in it, then they should definitely 1,000% be allowed to practice what they need to practice. I don't know why government has to be involved in so many things when it comes to unions between two people so much that this is actually a debate that we're having. This is not a thing where you should give certain people that have privileges in this country a choice to or to not have it. It should be a thing that should have been a law in the first place. Like, I remember seeing it, right? There was a time that I think I don't know if I was talking to my brother or friends or something. I don't quite remember what it was. But we were talking about the whole polygamy thing. And I was like, wait, I think in South Africa, both of those things were actually legal. That's what I thought. I thought if polygamy is legal, that means polyandry is also legal in South Africa. Kanti, I was living under a rock thinking that this world could actually be fair, but can it ever though? Can this world ever be fair? Especially when it comes to things of gender as well. Can it ever be fair? I'm still gonna say that most of the people that I see arguing against having polyandry is men who are insecure in their little masculinity to the point where they go like, I just cannot imagine being under a woman. guy, just give it a rest and just shut the heck up. That's all I can say. If you feel like if they pass the law, like this guy was saying in the religion, I was like, if they pass the law, I feel like the Bible says it's only between a man and a woman, and that's it. I was just like, go move now. There are so many countries that agree with you. Why don't you move to those countries or dig a shallow grave for yourself and jump in? I don't know. Other choices available for you. But like, I just cannot. Every time I hear that argument of religion and culture, all I think of is one, not everybody practices your goddamn religion. So I do not want to be I'm not participating in it. So I don't know why I should live by your laws. And not everybody is practicing culture, like the cultural ish. I don't want to be part of it and I don't want to participate in it. I do not know why I need to be guided by your goddamn values because they're not mine. All of those things are not mine. And that's why you don't live by my values and I do not want to live by yours. If you're cultural, religious, please get out of my business because I don't want to participate in yours and I will not be participating in whether or not you should change this or should change that. That is your business. But also leave other people's business. Your religion says one thing, ne? Cool, participate in that. Leave in that alone. Nobody else wants to participate in it. Why don't you stay there? Allow me, who is not part of your problem or part of your operations or whatever the hell it is that you are all part of, live my free life. Can I just be alone and be free? Can I just practice what I want to practice and you guys leave me alone because I'm not part of your group and I don't want to be part of your group? Like, can we just have that? It's so funny also that all these religious people will talk on that the God wanted this, God wanted that. These are the same men who are gonna be out here cheating like nobody's business. Like the number of the religious leaders that have been exposed for sleeping around is amazing. At the same time, they're the ones that are gonna be like, oh my gosh, polygamy, polyandry, oh my god, it's not right. But you're the same people who are cheating like nobody's business in your churches. You're sleeping with your congregation. Wasn't another one of y'all just caught so recently with having relations with their congregation? I'm just saying, I have had one at home where somebody also was caught. There's so many of these mofos that are caught cheating so many times. You would think that they're going to be the ones that are like, yes, let us support all of these things to be legal. Let us support all of these things to be open. But no, bloody hypocrites sitting on their bloody thrones, sitting like, sitting on your high horse thinking that you're the you're a know-it-all. Like, can you just, with your hypocrisy, just calm the hell, take several seats. Just calm the hell down and take several seats. Anybody that wants to use religion and culture to justify why a law should not be passed in South Africa or why a group of people should not be free and be able to practice something, the words I'm trying to say, I'm trying to think of what YouTube will allow me to say without my without my video being cutting off, like not being able to be passed on to other people. But screw you guys. The word is just screw you. I'm not actually wanting to use the word screw you. You know the word that one I will use, but I'm not gonna use that one. But screw y'all. Screw y'all. Whoever any argument comes up, you only want to use religion as a thing to oppress somebody, screw y'all. Or if you want to use cultural nonsense or some bullcrap to argue with somebody, one is you do not have any actual points to argue with somebody, and that's the only thing that you always revert to, even if somebody is not a participant in your religion. Anyway, before I get even overheated over this topic, I hope my point has gone across. And listen, you can go to the comment section and you can say whatever you want to say, your opinion or whatever. But for me, all I'm saying is I hope it actually gets into parliament and it actually gets to be voted for and actually passes, and I hope everybody that's behind it actually makes sure that it actually works out and it can actually be a law that polyandry is also legal in South Africa, and hopefully even more of other like polyam. I think it's the poly community. I forgot the what is it? Polyamorous relationships would also be you people would just allow them to exist. You know what? Basically, you know what? I want everybody to be happy and I want everybody to be free. And also, this was this was a nice little, I guess this was nice. I had me doing this while I'm speaking to the microphone, and hopefully this will get to a lot more people and you're actually gonna enjoy all of this, and I hope you did enjoy it. I know I got heated and everything, but it's just something that I'm also passionate about, so I just wanted to talk about it. Bye.